and welcome to the World Networking Podcast, Philosophical Detours, number 8. We're going to introduce some topics around passion and honor. I feel like these two are the perfect contrast between each other, so to speak. Almost one and the same, but it's like two different types of wine, you know? They're almost alike, but they're distinct enough to be their own. I think it's an interesting talk philosophically when you consider passion from a workplace standpoint and honor from a workplace standpoint. Now, if we start with that, the work stance. Most people would say that having passion for your job is good. I'd say most people would say that having an honorable job is good. So both things are considerably good, relatively speaking. But what differentiates the two? That when it comes to having a passionate feeling, passion for what you do can be a great motivation. But without the proper understanding of how to channel such emotions, a person can quickly become derailed in feelings. Honor is interesting to discuss when paired near passion, as without some honor, a passion can't be fully accepted internally as one's own goal. Maybe you don't enjoy the job, for example here, but you enjoy the ability to perform a role, to be on a team, to participate. It is similar. Like, honor has blinded many to the degree of changing who they planned to be for some personal achievement or positioning. When you're too stubborn to change, then you just can't take another route. You can't do another strategy. You can't participate a certain way on this team because you just practice a certain way. All these things could be innately a dark trait of having too much honor or pride in this case. So, it's a very interesting talk with that dynamic there. Now, a person attempting to be honorable in their acts may endure trials to engage in that role, as sacrificing the self goals for the bigger picture will always take a form of adaptation and strength to find motivation through. Ideally, pairing the two, honor and passion, together creates a binding of powerful motions if channeled in a refined or active manner. Enjoying your sense of honor or finding something you believe in doing seems to be the highly coveted position most feel generally excited to push towards and seek. Now, this is just from my personal experience, from what I gather, placing these two together and trying to analyze. But it's going to differ. It's probably very different from culture to culture, too. What you expect a passionate job to look like, or what you might be passionate about in your area, depending on your resources, depending on your people, your state of place, and economically that can all vary too. A lot of factors when it comes to these types of emotional spectrums, but having the information to find your own reason will help you in forming catalysts for even better meditations or reasonings. If you're just having this discussion, even just amongst yourself, and actively thinking on what causes this reaction or what may be causing this imbalance, can help you polish what honor means to you, or what proper passion feels like. Because maybe you feel like you're passionate for what you're doing, but you really are more passionate for something else. You just didn't take the time to look around you and see if there could possibly be another alternative. There could be another reality you're not seeing. So it's not to say that you always have to divert course, but keeping an open mind and keeping your eyes open and your ears open is an important thing when it comes to these discussions. Now, I have some quotes here I'd like to share. My first quote is from Socrates. The greatest way to live with honor in this world is to be what we pretend to be. I feel like that's always powerful, you know, understanding what you're envisioning yourself in a role, how you envision that looking. You start out a job and you're trying to look confident, you're trying to do the part, to take the reins and take the role, take initiative. But you may not always know how that's going to work out. But as you keep doing that and you keep persuading yourself to continue, it's going to form habits. It's going to form changes where you do feed this energy towards yourself that you're able to build from, you're able to harness and change. So I think that's a beautiful thing and a beautiful metaphor, put well in this quote by Socrates. My other individual I'd like to quote is a bit of a silly one, but I couldn't help myself, as this topic's very interesting. When it comes to Star Wars, there's a lot of honor involved. And part of me was just like, I have to put Yoda here. So I found two quotes that I do feel like actually fit the narrative of this discussion. First quote's, in a dark place we find ourselves, and a little more knowledge lights our way. The second quote, on many long journeys have I gone, and waited too for others to return from journeys of their own. Some return, some are broken, some come back so differently, only their names remain. They're good quotes, like I said, because it makes you think. And that's something I think all of us should value from fiction and stories and myths and legends and lore and facts, all of it together. It compiles this journey that people have taken, that we take ourselves. We can't possibly separate ourselves from that world these people engage with. We're one and the same. It takes combined efforts to make a path, to tread it soft. So to think you've walked alone truly isn't true. I mean, we all walk some sort of way someone's walked before. Like, and we may be our own individuals, but there's so much history to this world before us, and there will continue to be. And it's truly a blessing to be in the present and to experience the present and value that present moment. With that said, I really appreciate you guys being here today. I hope you got something of value from this, as I really enjoyed breaking this down. I know it may not make sense at all the moments, but I tried my best to break down such a deeply tangible topic. But that's the challenge, right? You gotta break them down and figure out what things mean, so you don't misidentify, and we're able to strengthen our bond between ourselves and the world around us. This has been the World Networking Podcast, Philosophical Detours. Thanks for dropping by.